Let's call the meeting to order. Stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Watson?
Here.
Lynch?
Here.
Euring?
Yes.
And I am here also. We have.
Okay, you have before you the minutes of the August 11th regular meeting. You all had a chance to make comments on them.
Make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Okay, Watson will second.
Lynch?
Yes.
Watson?
Yes.
Euring?
Yes.
And that
You'll
is
have-
8:14.
Okay, 8:14. You have also minutes of the August 19th special meeting. Okay, you also had a chance to look those over.
I'll make a motion to approve the August 19th meeting minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion?
Lynch? Oh, sorry. Lynch?
Yes.
The guy down in the end?
No, I'm sorry. Everything is, I must have
A virus?
sometimes of force that is not letting anything work today.
Yeah.
Lynch?
Yes.
Watson?
Yes.
Euring?
Yes. Okay, at this time, we have the reading of the bills. Do we have bills tonight at all?
We do. I can tell you what, I mean, everything is pretty much standard. Let me see here, 812. Monthly bills, there is a check in there for Linda that was a $150 error in her deferred comp, that it's a payback. We paid that in July. She's still not received the check, so I stopped payment on the check and have reissued a new one. So everything else is, we have Edwards Landscaping that we're paying that I need to get a copy to Morgan so that she can send that to NOPEC.
Yeah, what was the final on that, Chris?
$2,800.
Okay, that's right at the
Yeah.
quote. Okay.
So basically boilerplate month except for that issue with Linda, and that was the mail.
You can see it electronically, you just couldn't print it at the time?
I cannot
Is it
print
in the
anything.
format you normally print for us, or is it different in the way it's laid out?
Let me see.
I'm just wondering if it's something you can email as an attachment
Let
that
me
we could
see.
just put
Maybe
on
that's
display.
key. Extremely frustrating.
All right. Technical issues tonight.
Who do you want me to email it to?
Well, I'm just thinking in the future, Chris.
Oh.
I mean, you can email it to us. but
Well,
I'm just
I do
saying,
it the- I
if you have
do it-
trouble in the future, that way Morgan or Georgianne can get it up on
Yeah,
the
I
screen
wouldn't
and then we
know
could see
until,
it.
just like this, because I
It
don't
wouldn't
print it
print,
till.
yeah. Well, that's okay. If Chris has read the largest ones, I'm okay. And she can email those out and the trustees have it if they have any question, because we always approve with reservation.
What I would,
And you don't have a need to see it, do you, David?
at this time, we need a copy, but
Okay, I can.
I would just go ahead and make a motion to approve the payment of items on the payment listing as specified in documents provided by the fiscal officer. Omit the payment of, omit the financial reports because we don't have a financial report tonight, but we will have a financial report at the September 8th meeting.
Move to
All right, I'll second.
Payment.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion on that?
Euring,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Yes.
Watson.
Yes.
Thank you. You also have the credit card.
Okay, you have before you the credit card transaction detail. And receipts for all of them, I trust. Okay, I would make a motion then to accept the credit card account transaction detail has been reviewed per policy. The card statement is accepted as presented, subject to investigation. I will so move.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion?
Euring,
Yes?
Watson,
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.
Okay, at this time, generally, we welcome people from, what?
I have more.
We have okay, yes.
We have received the new credit cards, but they have a printing error.
Oh,
It says Amherst Township, not Amherst Township. So they are being reissued. They should be coming tomorrow, I hope. So I will either hand them out at the next meeting or if I see you somewhere in the next couple of days.
okay. But the current ones are still good.
The current ones are still good, and she said you could go ahead and use the Amherst ones, but I don't trust the
Yeah.
bank. She's like, they won't be new numbers or anything, and I'm like, okay, as soon as I hand them out, and you guys what do you call it, to get authorization for them, then they'll send new numbers. I just know they will, so. And
Okay,
especially the
yeah.
way it's been going
Yeah,
today. So I just thought I'd hold them to make sure that it's the same.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right, at this time then, generally, we have our welcome. I don't see anyone in the audience. I have one person under audience. He's Baus, our representative to Lorraine County Rural Water Authority. And I believe there's some items to speak about as far as,
Yes, good evening. I'm Heath Bass. I'm your appointed rep for rural water, and been doing that for the better part of a year here, and kind of just realized I haven't actually stopped out to meet any of you or introduce myself, so I appreciate the opportunity. I don't miss meetings, so if I'm available for any information you might need, just ask. I didn't know if you guys wanted to set up for a quarterly or you want me to show up at the monthly thing, but I'm here, and I mostly sit around and listen at the meetings because I'm the new guy, and if there's any information you need, I can get it, but I think that's about it. It's a pretty interesting organization, and we've got great management, so.
which I'm happy you stopped down. I wondered how it was going. I know you were appointed. I wondered how it was going. You were appointed, and I didn't see you.
Yeah, I just didn't know.
Everything's okay.
Yeah.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
For-
David, where Heath asked if he should come up here before the board, and I thought it'd be good because I had contacted Heath just to re-verify what Joe Waldecker had told me in regards to rural water providing service to the 65 acres there that's bounded by Bechtel and Albrecht to make sure that rural water is not going to relinquish that territory since that area is subject to annexation to the city of Elyria. And he said he'd bring it up at their next board meeting, which he did. He verified that rural water is not going to relinquish that territory. So they will still be the water service provider there. So, when he asked about frequency of attendance, I said that's really up to the board. You know, I think monthly would be way too much for you to come up here and wouldn't be necessary. Quarterly's probably okay, but even if you want it semi-annually, and that's something, David, as the chair, you'd have to determine if you want Heath coming up, semi-annually, annually, quarterly, or when that'd be, and perhaps you can get a hold of him and work out what those dates are.
Yeah. I think too. Also, if you have a contact phone, before you leave, you can leave a contact phone.
I can do
that
that.
we could have, so in case we need to get in touch with you, or we have a question, a rural water question, we can
Absolutely. When I came on, Joe introduced me to everybody. I guess your contact with Amherst Fire is a Chris Nehart?
Chris Nyhart.
Nehart. And he basically called me up to tell me that, hey, glad you got it. If I need anything, I'll call Joe. So I'm just kind of superfluous there, but yeah.
Keith, I'm sorry, what was your last name?
Baus. B-A-U-S.
B-A-U-S.
Sorry. But yeah, General Manager Waldecker did mention that he's been in contact with the developer and the city of Elyria, and Rural Water's not giving that up. So I don't know if that helps, but
Territory. I think it does. Enhances our position. Do you have any other questions, Jeremy? Neil, do you have any further questions?
No, and I know he's eager to get back to the fair since he's heavily involved there.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
available however long you need me.
Fair shirt.
Okay. We thank you for stopping up, and I think quarterly, if you would stop by quarterly,
Yes, sir.
give a report what's going on,
Can do that.
what
If
rural
you,
water's doing, and go from there.
should you need something in the interim, I'll leave the number. Call me.
Yes, leave a number with Morgan, and I think too, yeah, like if Morgan has it and I have it and whatnot, we get a question that involves rural water, we know who to get in touch, we know how to get in touch with you.
Yes,
We know
sir.
who, but it's how. There you go.
Very well.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you.
Okay, our next item, correspondence and announcements. What I have, is a notice of the NOACA annual meeting on Friday, October 16th, noon to 2 p.m. at the Cleveland Public Auditorium. And for a public body, it kind of struck me as odd, but there are tickets available for $75 per person. But anyway, that's where the annual meeting, when and where the annual meeting for NOACA will take place. So I wanted to bring that up. One item,
Can we charge for our meetings for attendance?
Yeah, 75 bucks a head. Let's do it.
I think so. I mean, print tickets, I guess. What do you say? 2026 Halloween, the trick or treat time and date. Generally, what we've been doing is the Sunday before. What day would that be? Where's my calendar at?
October 25th.
10:25, 1 to 3, is that what we usually go?
Yes.
2 hours. Is there going to be a Halloween parade or something in Amherst? Do we know?
They had discontinued it last year, so I don't know. It all depends if a business is willing to pick it up. I know the fire department isn't doing it anymore.
All right.
Difficulty was getting volunteers.
So we'll go 25th, 1 to 3 p.m.
Okay.
That's a
Jeremy, you're
Sunday.
probably aware of that being here and with your kid. We always do it 1 to 3. I know that the subdivisions get hit real heavy with the trick-or-treaters, and I know they all believe they all come from outside the township, but that's not the case, because I know the young kids that live near us now and the ones that previously lived as our neighbors, they'd all go to the subdivisions too, because they'd hit our house because they're neighbors, but after that, they're not going to go up and down Oberlin Road.
Yeah, I know in Hidden Valley, I've heard that.
Yeah, but it's like, we make it easy for people. If you don't want to participate, don't turn your light on. You know, it's your choice. It's not something we even have to make a decision on, but we do for safety and to make sure that there's a dedicated time.
Yeah, I like
So-
1 to 3.
Yeah, and the 1 to 3 was originally set so that the fire department used to then have a costume judging contest. They did that for a number of years, but it got more and more difficult since it was a volunteer thing to do. to get the volunteers. So then a business did it, I think, for 1 year, was it, Georgianne? And I think the business found the same thing. It's a lot of work. And so unless somebody else steps up, Main Street, other businesses, it's probably not going to happen.
Okay.
So we will go with October 25th from 1 to 3. We'll put that out for trick or treat. I have nothing else under correspondence. Do you have anything, Jeremy, under correspondence?
Nope.
Neil?
I do, but I'll address it in my reports, David, and you've got a copy at your place. I
Right.
also emailed it to you.
Next item would be reports, looking at ambulance service.
Nothing to report.
Nothing on that. We don't have a new date on that. All right. Fire prevention officer, Chris Nyhart, he's not here. Zoning inspector, Ryan Valentin. Do we have a report?
Yes. We have a zoning commission meeting, September 1st. That would be a final site plan for Stratton Corners. We have a BZA meeting set for September 10th for an area variance. Year-to-date for permits collected, we have $180,324.84. And we are currently at $21,500 for our park fee, for a total of 173 permits this year to date. That's my report.
Okay. Anything else? No. Nothing else. Road parks and cemeteries.
I don't
Road
have any,
Superintendent Smarsh.
I don't have anything to report, but I have a couple things to bring up. I met with TJ Dennis from Dennis Concrete. We went over the Deepwood Lane project, the two areas, and he still doesn't have a start date set, but he's getting real close to it. But we looked at another section that's real close to the cul-de-sac part of the job, and it's the intersection of Foxtail and Deepwood. And he measured it out, and he got me a quote of $40,000. It's a big section, and it's a nasty section. The intersections just crumbled apart. So I'm just bringing that up because it's not going to happen any cheaper with him coming in that bid with what he did, and then being that close with all the cuts, we really need to look into that to get that taken care of while he's right there.
Did he show the unit cost being the same as what was in the bid?
It is the same.
Okay. So that gives us the authority to do it, and it still is under the amount on the statute anyway that's there.
Sure.
So, well, we know that the road department has the funds since, we had used those ARPA funds to pay ongoing expenses before.
Those are long gone.
Well, the ARPA is gone, but
Yeah.
what we did is we preserved the
Right.
revenue we were receiving from the levies and inside millage that went to roads by not having to spend that because we had to spend the ARPA fund by a certain time, and the way the law was set up, we could do that. Since we obviously received considerably less than $10 million, which was the threshold level. So,
But
Chris, I guess
we
it's a
keep
matter of
saying
the budget.
Yeah, we keep saying the same thing over and over and over every time we have a new big expense. But we have those ARPA funds, and it's there.
Well, the thing is, if we don't do it now, what Kevin's saying is, if we don't
Actually-
do it now, it's gonna cost more later. We could wait, but if we wanted to try and get funding for it through the grants, we'll be waiting 2 years to file for it, because we've already filed the 2 grants for 2027. So you'd be filing for 2028, putting 2 more years of wear and tear on that intersection.
Which intersection is it, Kevin?
Foxtail and Deepwood Lane.
Deepwood and Foxtail.
Pretty tore up. Pretty tore up there. I think we could do like a change order or extend the project. I think we could, as long as we don't we don't submit more than what the OPWC request was.
Sure.
OPWC. So I think we've got some wiggle room there. He was below the estimate anyway. So
Yeah.
there's some wiggle room there.
I have $37,000 available, but it's set aside for the truck. We don't have to pay the truck this year, then you have your road.
I would think we have to pay for the truck.
Yeah, that may come in before the end of the year, depending upon what the details are, and I haven't seen those, Morgan, but I think, Chris, you said the first one you saw it wouldn't be till a year later?
I don't remember.
The first payment, yes.
So
Would
that
come out
one
next
would
year.
put it off to the next year, and that's where, so you
That's for
have
the
the
truck, just the truck,
comparables.
yes.
You know, realize when we went with the truck that we were originally trying to obtain from a different supplier that was supposed to be fully outfitted, and you know how that fell through. When we went through with the 3 different options for the lease purchase, one of them required an upfront payment, you know, upon delivery, whereas the others were a year after. So it all depends what the terms are. And have you received 3 back yet?
We're still waiting on M&K.
Okay.
So I have one from First Republic and from Huntington, but nothing yet from M&K.
Okay. I know Morgan said once she gets those, she would put them together on a spreadsheet so we could evaluate them.
Yep, I already have the 2 on the spreadsheet. I'm just waiting on the 3rd to add it. So,
That was another thing that I was going to bring up was with M&K, that Morgan and I dealing with Dutch, the salesman, he called me today and he was in touch with the finance, Katie, was it Katie? And in order to put theirs together, he said that he needed the information from Judco in order to finance the truck. So they're putting it all into one.
Okay. Can they do both so that we can compare them both?
With the conversation I had today, no. But I was on the roadside mower trying to talk to him and talking to
Oh, you
finance.
up on Bechtel cutting grass.
So-
Well, yeah, the difficulty is I thought Judco had given you, it could be up to 12 months before they're complete.
Yeah,
You know, terms change in a year. I'm surprised they'd be willing to go out on a limb on that.
well, if they bundle it, if it was all bundled, you know, you just have the one lump, so you know, you'd be making that payment on,
Well, we could get it now that, because we'll have a resolution here now that we know after you and Morgan had a chance to review the snow and ice packages, you determined that Judco was the better option. So we're going to pass that. Morgan, it'd be additional work for you, but to compare apples to apples, you'd have to get First Republic and Huntington to also provide the lease purchase for the fully outfitted vehicle.
Okay.
Explaining what's happening, we'll get delivery of the chassis, it'll go to Judco to then be outfitted, which could be 9 to 12 months from now,
yeah.
before we see a working vehicle.
And I pulled up the Huntington information, and first payment would be due 9/1/27, whether it's 3, 5, or 7.
Okay.
and First Republic was the same way, but they were 8/1 of 2027.
3 years in Huntington was 4, I don't know if you were going to say this tonight or not, 4.9, 5 years was 4.98, and 7 years is 5.1.
Yep.
You know, I was trying to remember
What
them.
were the numbers again?
4.90 for 3 years, 4.98% for 5 years, and 5.01% for 7 years.
Okay. Well, maybe Morgan, if, since, you know, this is all coming about because Chris is trying to determine, geez, if we don't have to make a payment till 2027, she would take the funds that were intended for the first payment on the truck to put towards the Foxtail Deepwood intersection. I know we've gotten you all out of order here, but if you get, so we can compare apples to apples, if that's the only way M&K is going to quote it is ask for the similar quote from First Republic and Huntington.
Okay.
And we can actually see apples to apples.
Okay.
The Dutch said that she would have it sent over tomorrow.
Okay.
So I have $40,000,
Okay.
just for you, Kevin.
I thought he said 40.
I said 40.
Oh, okay. My ears weren't working then. I heard 30.
I said 40, right? I said 40.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Okay. Well, at this time, that's all I have.
All right. Next item. Senior Services Township Administrator. Oh, wait a minute, before we go
Yeah, you
move
have a
on, I have
resolution
listed
here.
the Mack truck outfitting resolution. You had that resolution.
Yeah, it's-
Authorizing an agreement for the purchase of a snow and ice body package from Chudco Equipment for the state term schedule, Ohio State term schedule, number 800925, index number STS 515, through a lease purchase agreement for a term not to exceed 7 years.
Yeah, and I'm going to make this motion without, since it's all prepared, I'm not going to read it, David, but just since this is a state bid, the complete outfitting of the truck is $137,350.
And where are we at with this? Resolution 818?
818, yes, sir.
We'll need a second on it, too.
Second.
Okay, hold on. Let me catch up with you. Catch up with you.
Well, David,
All right.
doing that, you'll get a hold of Judco and let them know.
Yes.
If you need a certified copy of the resolution, see Chris. Once we pass it.
Right. I was wondering
Okay.
about that.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion on it? If no further discussion, roll call?
Lynch?
Yes.
Watson?
Yes.
Urick?
Yes. Okay, next item on the agenda, trustees' reports.
No, now you have them working.
Oh, Morgan, Senior Services, Township Administrator. Oh, I apologize.
It's okay. You're fine. The only thing that I do
There's
have.
people in a row. Oh, my God.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. All right. Are you good? I'm gonna.
No,
okay.
I'm not, but
All right, the only thing that I have is, again, for Medicare, that we have open enrollment starting October 15th through December 7th, and that to let the residents know to check their drug plan. And that's all I have for my report. So,
all right. See what we've got. Nothing further under that. Trustees' reports. Jeremy Watson, do you have anything?
Yeah, just a few things. Just to follow up on the Rice Road complaint we were getting over there. He's not there any longer. How long that'll last, I don't know. And as far as what's going to happen with that property, we'll see. So I don't know if you had any other zoning issues, or just kind of let that be for now with the Rice Road issue.
Yeah, I mean, I've spoke to his power of attorney.
Okay.
They're trying to figure it out. He's battling with the mortgage company at the moment.
Right.
He will update me when he finds out more.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know how long he's going to be gone for, so.
Yeah, see how it all plays out. I'm working with the Girl Scouts on that little project. I'll let you know, Kevin, if that comes to fruition or not, the little shed to hold toys and stuff down there. And then I know you have the resolution here, but I did get a hold of Mark Chapo.
Okay, good.
So he said there's a new procedure, and you have to fill out a form and pay a fee before they'll even consider anything. Um,
They must have been talking with Nowaka, huh?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to figure out how to charge fees. I mean, come
Yeah.
on, the public meetings.
And he said that the forms will eventually be on their website.
Okay,
So I'm gonna try to get an email or get a hard copy of the forms, so we can
Right.
fill that out, see how much the fee is, and then try to get the ball
yeah, if
rolling
it's
on that
reasonable, it
one.
might just be like the permitting, I don't know what fees they'd have, but,
Yeah, I didn't get any further
Okay, good.
details yet, but I did get a response, so
okay, good.
that's all I had, David.
Neil, do you have anything to bring forth under a
I
report?
do, and I'm hoping Georgiana will bring it up, but I did just want to mention it, Jeremy. The other thing is, and I know it's tough with the scouts because we've worked with them on different projects, and it's usually how active the group is and some of the parents involved. But we've also had, for the Boy Scouts, when someone's working on their Eagle Scout project, like you'll see a lot of the landscaping around here and some of the upgrades in the parks were done by Eagle Scout projects. You know, if this doesn't work out with the current group, always keep that in mind.
Yeah.
When someone's working for their Eagle Scout
Okay.
designation.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, I did, David, the first one is the Quarry Creek drainage, and I know it's going to be tough with the different entities heavily involved in Lorraine County Fair right now, but I have not received the final easements for, and it's possibly 6 property owners. I know that the prosecutor's office and Soil and Water were actually working with a separate easement for each individual, though they'll be the same. It's just getting the appropriate meets and bounds of the easement area designated. I hope they get it soon because we were hoping to have that bid out September. Well, August is pretty much over. And now being with the fair going on, they're all down there manning their booths. But I'll go ahead and send another reminder to Andy Cooksey and Kathy Perales in the prosecutor's office, along with Don Romankak. I always include Don since he's with the community development, the stormwater district manager. Kevin's already covered the, oops, I don't want to go there yet. The Overland Road transfer still is, there hasn't been any action from the county yet where we're expecting that to be transferred over into the county road system, but they have received the petition. They are aware of it, and I do expect them, based on the previous conversations, to eventually take action on that particular project. I believe, Kevin, Morgan already gave you the applications for the 2 road projects for the OPWC grants in 2027, and you've already taken those to the engineer's office?
Yes.
Okay, and they haven't gotten back yet as far as entering them into work-wise? Okay. Well, when we hear from them, you guys know what you have to do on that. I didn't call Morgan. I'm going to actually contact Don Romankak on the stormwater mini grants that we applied for, because even though we don't need those till the succeeding year, in the past they used to open it up on January. Now they run on a continuous cycle. I just want to find out from them, well, how soon can you turn it in? Can we turn it in early? You know, expecting that it's not really an if-then, but we'd really like to hear what our district determines on the OPWC grant before we commit to the mini grant, because you know what it'll be. It'll cost us a lot more, Kevin, if they've got to go down there and just cut out and fix those catch basins and not do the rest of the roadway. So we'd like to get it all together to save some money there. And moving on, the new plow truck, I don't think there's anything more we have to discuss. We've already covered that here in the previous discussion. There is, so everyone's aware, the 3,000-gallon Pearson Forcer tanker that we have on order, and that truck is being outfitted by Atlantic Emergency Solutions out of Manassas, Virginia. We put that order in February of 2023, recognizing at that time that it was going to be a 38 to 40-month lead time, and it looks like they're going to use all that time and then some. But Alliance has gotten back to, or Atlantic got back to Tim Gates, the assistant chief in Amherst Fire Department, said that truck may be available here towards the end of September, where we could actually take on ownership of that particular truck. On receipt, keep in mind we passed that resolution where, though the fire department in years past, they might have had some of their own guys go through and do the craftsman work of hanging hardware to get the fire equipment, the auxiliary equipment put on. That's not their forte, and they aren't doing that anymore. They outsource that. And so they had recommended using the same supplier that Amherst uses for their trucks, and that's Sensible Products Incorporated in Richfield, Ohio. So the truck would actually go to Richfield to be outfitted. Our resolution was at a cost not to exceed $20,000. And that also makes the existing tanker better because you don't have holes in it where you pulled off all the hardware to reattach to the new truck. Now, Amherst Fire Department at the time, if you recall, when this all started over 3.5 years ago, there were a couple of Lorain County townships that were interested in our existing tanker. Well, waiting that long, their interest isn't there anymore. I assume they probably found used vehicles somewhere else that they were able to obtain to fit their needs. So the city is recommending one of the third-party dealers to work with in the disposition of the existing tanker pumper. But I'm going to have some discussion with the prosecutor on this. I did not want to have the discussion now because I wanted to keep our representative focused on this annexation. I did not want her to get off on another one. She's got, 17 other townships that are vying for her attention. But from what I can read, we can obviously sell it to any other public agency. It just, the way the code's written, it says in the state. Well, I assume that's state of Ohio. This third party, they do it across the nation. So it's open. Well, I don't know if that means we can't do that, even though it's a public entity, but not in Ohio. So that's something I'm going to have to find out from the prosecutor's office, or do we have to restrict it to strictly in Ohio? And I believe the entity that Amherst works with is actually in Alabama. The other option is we can go through the motions, put it out for public auction based on what we think it's worth, and we'll get a quote. I've already I received the forms from this third-party organization, put down all the information. They will give us an estimated value, which is probably a better estimate than we could give. And with that, we could put it up for public auction, see what happens. If we get a good bid, great. If we don't, then the statute does allow us at that point, we can then work with a third party and go that route. So it's just that would delay things. The other difficulty is we can't give up that tanker pumper till the new one's available. And so it's a matter of this timing, when do you put it in? Because if we get this the end of September, Sensible, the agreement we have with Sensible is they have to complete the finished outfitting as far as putting in all the hardware and hanging the auxiliary equipment. They've only got a week to do that. But it's something they're used to doing, and they're set up to do this for fire equipment. So it's, they seem comfortable that they can do it in a week. So that's still the disposition of the existing tanker pumper. I can't tell you yet, but I just wanted to bring it to everyone's attention that that's being worked on. But I did not want to get the prosecutor off doing some additional work for us since we had a pretty important item to take care of. The next item is the Golden Acres. As the trustees are aware, at our last meeting, which was at the county on August 6th, there were 3 items that were supposed to take place before our next meeting, which is scheduled for September 10th. One, the potential developer was to give the metes and bounds as far as what area they intended to develop, and also what area they intended to donate to the Metro Parks. The Metro Parks was to sketch out a rough layout of the pathways where they think the trails would be. And then the Port Authority, which owns the lion's share of the property, roughly 30 acres, was to feel out their board to determine are they agreeable with the offer that's been provided by this developer. Well, I haven't had any direct conversation with the Port Authority, but I do know they met, and just one commissioner told me, you guys, and I assume you guys is the city of Amherst, the Metro Parks, and Amherst Township are going to have to go and explain things to the Port Authority Board. So I don't know if Director Miller didn't communicate what our vision and intent is or what happened there, but it sounds like there wasn't a real positive decision, so I expect on September 10th we won't really get a decision on that, and if we don't, there's no need to keep meeting on this project if it can't go forward, because without that sale, it's just dead in the water. And as we know, it's been sitting there since 2013 as it is, not operating as a nursing home. But I'll find out more information moving forward on this. I do know that the developer put together a sketch and an area which I know he was then going to adjust. I did not see the adjustments, but he was going to provide that to Metro Parks Director Jim Zemanek. And then actually after the meeting on August 6th, there became a fourth ask, which we really discussed during the meeting about having trailheads in certain areas. Jim Zemanek specifically asked for a number of parking spots on that would come in on North Ridge Road where you could still go out front way so you don't have to back out. And I think he asked for 5 to 7 parking spots. I believe the developer showing 8, one of them being ADA compliant. It would be right at the same location that used to be the access point for the maintenance facility. So it's going to be the farthest eastern point on the south side of North Ridge. So, the developer loses a little piece there that was in the developable area, but it makes sense to put it there. So that I know the developer is going to get that information. The Metro Parks will all see whatever the final version is, I assume, on September 10th. I have had conversation with Amherst Mayor Costello as to what's going on. I wanted to bring him up to speed as to what happened on August 6th, since he was unable to make that meeting. Let him know that if he hasn't seen the meeting invitation, the next meeting is September 10th, and so we'll see where it goes. And I told him, I said, Mark, we may have to go before the Port Authority, but when the one commissioner talked with me, he got sidetracked because you got all sorts of people grabbing his attention, so he explained that to me, and then he got pulled away. So I need a little bit more information. What are we going there for? What did the Port Authority decide? Or do we wait until September 10th and hear from Jim Miller what the actual discussion was before we take it any further? I also checked, the Port Authority indicates they meet quarterly, but there's no schedule on their website. And it says they could meet at special meetings. So, this one that they just held, my understanding was, because I saw it in the paper, with the meeting announcement, was a special meeting. So I don't even know when they'll next be getting together that we could even go forward and what else they'll have on their agenda. So that's where, as everything I know on Golden Acres, I'm sure we'll all get updated on September 10th. Hopefully you can make that particular meeting. Lakeshore Railway, I do have a resolution here, and sorry, Jeremy, with all the other things going on, I wanted Jeremy to look this over since his name is mentioned in here, and as being the township's liaison in all of this work. But if you recall, Commissioner Gallagher wanted the townships to send a letter of support if they're supportive of trails in their township. Well, this one gets a little difficult because though we're putting in a letter of support, it goes through Pittsfield Township, Russia Township, Wellington Township, City of Oberlin. So we can't speak on their behalf. All we can talk about is, sure, we'll support it. We'd like it to connect from our township down to the fairgrounds. It's unfortunate Heath Bouse isn't here since he's on the fair board. I'm sure he'd be very supportive. But I wanted to get this resolution put together. I had mentioned at the last meeting, I try and get it together for this meeting, and I did. I also roughly measured out from the Turnpike interchange down to the fairgrounds is approximately 15 miles. I know that Lakeshore Railway would hope to get the full 29 miles from the city of Lorraine all the way through, and hopefully they could. I wouldn't want to discourage them from that, but since 1979, when they took over ownership, I think because of the funding sources, that's difficult to do. And usually old rail lines, you're expecting some sort of federal help. Well, with a $40 trillion debt and adding another $1 trillion every 5 months, I think the odds of getting this anymore are really going to be difficult.
Nothing in this resolution precludes using it as a railroad.
No, not at all.
It's basically a co-location. It's a co-location along the railroad right-of-way of a bike trail. I have no problem with that.
Okay, good. Yeah,
I have no problem. Matter of fact, if you want to make it, I'll second it.
Well, I'll make the motion, and we can continue with the discussion. So you going to second, David?
Yeah, I'll second it.
There's nothing here to stop having rail. As a matter of fact, our comprehensive plan even talks about the multimodal use, and we changed our zoning to match our comprehensive plan. But, and I referenced the different page numbers between the comprehensive plan and also the State Route 58 corridor plan. And Jeremy mentioned reaching out to Mark Chapo at the Lakeshore Railway Association, which is the nonprofit that took ownership of the Lorraine, West Virginia rail line. Mark was invited to all of our meetings when we went through the State Route 58 corridor plan, recognizing that when we were looking at different zoning options, we wanted to include that railway if they were ever able to actually get it up this far. That they would have that excursion rail option, but it also wouldn't preclude bikes, so that you can use both. And realize in today's environment, you're going to see more and more electronic bikes, electronic scooters. I know everybody thinks it's the kids. I told Georgianne a year ago, I said, this is going to be the future, what we're going to see. Well, guess what we see? We see the kids, but I'm seeing more and more seniors on those electronic bikes because they like to tool around too, but they're no longer the position of pedaling, which can be difficult on some of the joints, but they really like their electric bikes. Some of them even have the three-wheeler bikes now if they don't have the balance to deal with it. But if we could get something like this would really be nice. Then it could connect with the inland trail that's down there also. But the main thing is trying to get this moving forward. Jeremy, you would become from the township the liaison to try and encourage it, nudge it along, kind of like I've done with Golden Acres. I don't want you to get frustrated if it turns out you see you're beating your head against the wall, just back away. The real thing is you'll want to work with the Metro Park because they're really the ones.
I had a great conversation with Jim about it, and he's really excited. He loves the project if we can get it. He gave me the whole history of everything. So
okay, good.
Yeah, next step will be getting those forms filled out, paying the fee, and then trying to get to sit down with the railway group and see if we can make a deal.
Okay, well, good. Then, David, you don't see a need to read this, do you? I mean, it's...
No, I read through it. It's basically
okay, but I will
approving or supporting the combination of rail excursion line and a walking, biking trail.
Right, and there will be
I got no problem with that.
Okay, there will be a letter then here, David, to sign, and Chris will need a certified copy of the resolution to send off with it too to Commissioner Gallagher.
All right. Well, motion's been made and seconded. So, if there's no further discussion.
Lynch?
Yes.
Euring?
Yes.
Watson?
Yes.
And the number, Chris?
819.
1926. Okay, the next item, Foundation Health Solutions, they did change the date for their groundbreaking because they were waiting for a sign to show up and the sign was late. So they actually did that just this past Wednesday, August 19th. They did indicate there will be another opportunity for the trustees to show up when they have their grand opening, which that's going to be a year from now before that occurs. But I'm sure they'll let us know when that does happen. Stratton Corners, Kevin, I couldn't make the pre-construction meeting. I don't know if you were able to make that
Oh, I
meeting
was
with
not.
Roseanne.
No, I was not. But they've been pouring.
Yes, and that's the only item I put on here is that they started pouring last week.
Is there a
And,
county inspector out there?
Yes,
I was watching when they pour.
he's been on it.
Okay, and the other item, and I think you guys also received copies of the tree planting option that's available. And this was, Thomas Patrick brought this up at a Lorraine County Township Association meeting several meetings ago. And I know, Kevin, I've mentioned this is where if we wanted to plant trees, since we have to comply with NOPEC, and if we didn't want to use one of our own, we could get them from these trees they have available at no charge. Well, Thomas didn't have all the details at the time, and since it's a grant provided by First Energy, the first thing he found out, well, it has to be on public land, and I asked, well, what about a road right-of-way? Now, that's not mentioned in the document that the Lorraine County Beautiful put out just this last week, but I've got an email from First Energy that says, well, yeah, you can, just make sure it's the appropriate tree. If they've got overhead lines, they don't want any interference. So I've got a document from First Energy that says, and that would be more like a Broadway Taylor where we took down, the tree. If the residents still want another tree in place, we're obviously not going to put one that grows up into the power lines, but we could put another tree in. But these are small little trees. They'll take a long time to grow. But there's all different species there. That's something we need to consider. I know Morgan's going to check on for the NOPEC grant. We know that NOPEC will cover that $2,800 cost that Edwards just put in, but we really should be, the coverage is that we're replacing the tree canopy, with other trees, okay? They didn't have, if I recall, there were no evergreens. They were all deciduous trees. So it's even, I thought at one time, well, maybe this would help the Amherst schools where they have to put some up in the planning around their transportation, but there's no evergreens listed there. And it is a maximum of 18 trees that we can request, and we have to have a request in by September 18th. But that's it, David. That's the end of my report.
Do we have anything under complaint, corrective action?
I had one that came up. This guy on Middle Ridge Road, he lives next to the Sunoco station, was complaining about water coming into his yard, and so I called him to try to get him in the right place, but it sounded like it wasn't storm water, it was water line water. But he had contacted the water department and said they were coming out, and I didn't hear any follow-up after that, so hopefully that's all resolved.
Nothing further on the complaints, unfinished business. I have one item I should have brought up under announcements. The commissioners did meet today. They did take action on the annexation petition. They did not approve the type 2 annexation. Did not approve that resolution. Findings is that I believe that the map was deficient, and the property owner may or may not, but does have the right to seek a writ of mandamus against the commissioners, forcing them to accept it, but they would have to go to court and get that. Do you have anything else to add, Neil?
No, I don't, David.
Okay. New business. I have nothing to bring forward at this time. Do you have anything? Neil?
No.
If not, the next regular meeting will be September 8th, 2026, 7 p.m. at the Amherst Township Hall. we'll call work sessions, special meetings as needed. One last time, any other concerns from the audience or the board? If there are no other concerns, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Watson?
Yes.
Lynch?
Yes.
Euring?
Yes.